Hi all, Kyle A. Lohmeyer here with another worst commentary. Well, the New Hampshire primaries were yesterday, and the big winners are Bernie Sanders and Donald J. Trump. For many years, the New Hampshire primaries were a reliable predictor of who would go on to win their party's nomination. Blessedly, in more recent election cycles, this hasn't held true, and let's hope this trend continues. The idea of the election being between an obnoxious blowhard and a moron who sounds like Jackie Mason had a stroke is enough to make anyone want to eat a revolver. Well, me anyway. Far more interesting than either man could ever be individually is the fact that those two have emerged as the two strongest candidates for the job of leading the world's largest economy and the greatest nation on the globe. Those two guys. Out of a nation of 360 some million. Those two. Think about that. For me, what these two men say is irrelevant, really. They're both complete imbeciles in their own way. What's relevant is that their imbecility has made them so incredibly popular among an electorate that couldn't be more polarized without coming to blows. So popular, they're pulling away from their respective packs at this point. It's like the WWE and C-SPAN had some sort of unholy love child, and this election cycle is it. These two men speak in the shallow, bombastic platitudes that are more at home backstage at a pro wrestling match than in the political arena. Bernie's going to make everything free and punish those dastardly capitalists. And Trump's going to make everything safe and punish those Muslims and Mexicans. I'm waiting for someone to get hit by a folding chair next. Maybe Rubio. At least that would be funny. That the level of discourse couldn't possibly get any lower without incurring FCC fines is really just the natural progression of the relationship between the mainstream media and media consumers. People, by and large, don't want to learn anything anymore. We've become extremely adverse to change despite the fact the world is rapidly changing around us. So, a lot of people find solace in the 24-hour cable news network of their choice, CNN or MSNBC if you identify as a Democrat, and Fox News if you identify as a Republican. Watching those networks won't teach you anything other than reinforce the idea that you're right and the people you root for are right and the people that you root against are wrong. It's basically like being a Buckeyes fan and listening to sports talk radio here in Central Ohio. It's not critical at all, and that's fine when it comes to something as inconsequential as college football. It's not fine when it comes to the ideas and the people who will shape and run the nation that we all live in and pay for. But alas, people typically get the government they deserve, as someone a lot smarter than me once said. And like it or not, someone is going to get sworn into the office of president next January, and it could very well be one of the two big winners last night. And as it is election season, it's also endorsement season. Trump recently picked up the endorsement of Sarah Palin, which must have been exciting. And Bernie recently picked up the endorsement of Howard Dean's old group. Yeah, that must have been exciting. Well, now one lucky candidate will get to add an equally irrelevant endorsement to their list, and that is that of the worst. So, with no further ado, I would like to announce that the worst is endorsing, for the office of President of the United States, Sanders. B. Sanders. That's right, Barry Sanders. He won the Heisman Trophy in 1988 and then was drafted to the Detroit Lions, where he spent 10 Pro Bowl seasons, racking up 15,269 yards rushing and nearly 3,000 more receiving. This was on his way to 109 total touchdowns. While Barry Sanders never won a Super Bowl, or indeed even competed in one, his accomplishments still vastly outstrip those of the other Sanders, whose only accomplishment is having lived 74 years to this point without ever having a real job. Indeed, Barry Sanders' achievements are far greater than that of those of Donald Trump. I mean, Barry Sanders played pro football for 10 years at the highest level, whereas Donald Trump owned a pro football team for a couple of years and then helped push a decision by the league that ended up destroying the entire league, the old USFL. So there you have it. In the modern, current realm of American politics, Barry Sanders is the best choice. That's why he's the worst choice. And that's just about all I can take of this crap right now, so until next time, try to have fun.